I have the benefit of living in both worlds, and I just like it. I studied here, got my master's, I went abroad, got my PhD, began to teach. I've been lecturing in an university in the United States, Bowie State University in particular, for 22 years. But over almost every year during that period, I've come to Nigeria to teach also as a visiting professor at Gulf Local University. And one thing that drives me is the desire to see students who don't just memorize materials and cram materials to pass exams, but students who are equipped to do what they have learned, who are able to deploy concepts, biological concepts, into providing solutions to human problems. But science is supposed to provide solutions, So that's what has been my the driving factor or motivation in all that I do in my career as a professor. So, you asked me about forensics in particular. I became very interested in forensics after I began to teach DNA fingerprinting as a topic in my molecular biology class. That's when it began. I've been teaching DNA fingerprinting, but I didn't know how to navigate it beyond that point until we wrote this proposal to the Enugu State government requesting for money to build a forensic center. And we're able to do this because we already established DNA Learning Center Nigeria, which is coming from DNA Learning Center New York. I mean, we're a subsidiary of DNA Learning Center New York, our parent body. We established it here, and we provide training, hands-on training to high school students, undergraduate students, professors who want to retool themselves, and anybody, in fact, who is interested in genetics. So with that, we had built a platform that got people interested in Enugu State. They could see that these things are possible. They could see the outcome of our labor. So the governor, when we made a proposal, believed in us and gave us money to build. You need to come down to Ugbomo in Enugu State to see the massive building that is housing two aspects of our two centers actually: the Center for DNA, the Center for DNA Forensics and Criminal Investigation, and now the DNA Learning Center Nigeria. These two centers coexist in a very huge building. So while we are doing profitable business in SETFOSI, which is the Center for DNA Forensics, we are doing not-for-profit business in training our youth and young adults in Enugu State and Nigeria in general on how to do, deploy the techniques, the molecular biology techniques in solving both agricultural, medical, and pharmaceutical problems. So I'm highly motivated, I must tell you, because this is something I never thought would happen in my lifetime, because I went to school without a single equipment in some of the labs I passed through in Nigeria. To see that you can actually come in here, for instance, during this training, we have been able to take DNA, take samples from unusual places, take samples from chewed gums that are thrown away, take samples from cigarette butts that have been thrown away, take DNA samples from water bottles that have been used, and use it to track the individuals that actually left their DNA in those bottles. That's amazing. That's criminal investigation. We live in a country where people kill people and walk away and then come back for the funeral and drink beer and dance and walk away and all of that. That cannot continue to happen. We have to be able to. And then we are also in a country where many fathers are fathering sons and daughters that are not their children, because we had some women that played games. And I don't want women to be upset with me. But if people are going to father children, they better father them with knowledge. There's nothing wrong with fathering other people's children. But if you're going to do it, let it be that. So every man has a chance and opportunity to track their children and know who their children. And we're in a country where people After a man has died, people who are not related to him will come to claim that they are their children in order to acquire some property. That can no longer happen. If that happens, show up at our sample collection sites, and we will fix that problem very quickly. So I can keep on talking, but this is exciting by anyhow you look at it.